What's up, everyone? Billy here from Patriot Focus, and we have Kevin back on the show. Missed a few weeks, but we're back. Today we'll be talking about the Pats and Jets brief recap. I don't want to talk too much about that game. I'm sure you guys don't want to listen about it either. So we're going to be talking about that, and then we'll talk about the Patriots versus Niners, the preview of that. We're going to get a little in-depth in that, injuries, and just our opinions. We'll start off with the Pats and Jets brief recap. Like I said, I don't want to talk about it too much because it was a tough game to watch, and I'm sure you thought that way too against the Jets. Yeah. One takeaway that I did like, one thing I actually liked from that game is the fact that we got Demario Douglas involved into our game. But there was many downfalls, down takeaways that I took away. More bad takeaways than good, I guess. One bad being Ramondre Stevenson, 6 rushes, barely broke 20 yards and a fumble. So we got to work ball security with him. Probably the most fumbles in the league right now. But yeah, what do you think?
I think they had a plan going into the season to run the ball. And then they went into this game, and they knew that the Jets were weak on the edges. And correct me if I'm wrong here. And they decided to just go down the middle, but then not really even do that. They decided to do more passing. It's like, oh, well, let's be a passing team now. When they had an opportunity, and a couple of times, I don't know if it was the third quarter or the fourth, what part of the game it was, but a couple of times they kind of went back to that plan and they found the edge. And Ramondre Stevenson had probably the longest run, but then I think that play was walked back with a penalty. Do you remember that one, Bill?
I think I do, and I think it was a holding by Caden Wallace. I could not stand him. I really just couldn't stand him. I saw two holdings in a row by him, three penalties by the offensive line in 3 plays, one in each play. Caden Wallace, 2 of them. David Andrews, a center, veteran, which you don't expect much of him, but I mean everyone makes mistakes, even Trent Williams. But we saw the penalties and the weak offensive line, and I didn't come into this game saying, all right, our offensive line is good, but I also didn't come into this game saying that we're mid-August. We're in the same point as mid-August for offensive line. I thought we developed, and I think we did, but I guess the Jets game did not prove that, and Caden Wallace was one of the guys that, I mean, it's his first start. He probably got 15 snaps in week 2, 14, 12 snaps on the as a 6th offensive lineman, and he did a pretty good job reporting as eligible. I think he didn't report as eligible once, which isn't too bad for a rookie. But it's the holding penalties that didn't lose us a game. Everything lost us that game, but it's the holding penalties that will matter when the games are close. And I think David Andrews' penalty was, I think it was a legal man downfield, I want to say, but it's just tough to watch with Caden Wallace's first start. I think he'll start again this week, but yeah.
So before we move on from the Jets game, there's a few pieces of fruit here. Trying to remember his name. I should know this. What's the offensive line? Robinson. There's a Robinson, right?
Layden Robinson. Layden
right?
Robinson? Yeah. 64.
And he's a rookie, right?
Yes, he is. 4th rounder, I think.
Yeah. He's a tough guy. Like he's a strong. I see potential with him.
Yeah.
It was week 3. You know. What do we have? Like 7 offensive linemen in that game.
I want to say it was 7. Yeah. I
Wonder
don't
if
want to say it, but it's
no,
it's
and
7.
but I just wonder if there's a way to have, by mid-season, a more consistent line with Onwenu, um,
Say so.
so right, Robinson, um, Andrews, and who else do you think?
Like Valerian Lowe, if he can get healthy.
That's what I was thinking too.
Even
Like
then, I don't know if he's.
there are. I feel like the team has 5 guys that can find a way to work together as a unit and stay healthy. Like I have to believe that. I have to watch the games knowing that that's possible. All right. I'm not going to give up that until they prove me wrong for like 10 games straight, and then I'm going to be like, okay, all right, I better start watching college football because the draft's where it's like
Yeah.
that's tends to be how I get. But um, I don't want to like say the sky is falling on it yet, so I'm going to stick with that. Um, I have a lot of faith in their leadership with Andrews, but I also have a lot of faith with just the fact that they don't have a lot of time working together. And the Patriots have never had, and correct me if I'm wrong, anyone on the internet, I don't think they've ever really had a season where everyone or where it was the same 5 guys the whole season.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
it doesn't
they.
work that way.
Yeah. There's
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but let's acknowledge the fact that this group has not shown a lot for us to be, hopeful of. But back to that run game piece. If they had stuck with the plan, the Jets had enough like penalties. There was enough like the Jets could have lost the game for themselves. Like I don't know that the Patriots would have won it, but the Jets could have lost it. If you know what I mean. Like the Patriots still could have played like crap, like what we saw, and maybe won. But we didn't take um, advantage of those opportunities. And the Patriots lost the game, right? One more thing on that, and I'm pretty much done. I did enjoy the game, and don't crucify me yet on this one. I did enjoy the game as a football fan because earlier in the day someone had said, Rodgers is old," and I'm like, "Oh no, it's still Aaron Rodgers. You cannot say, oh, he's old. He has a talented roster. Okay, some questionable leadership in terms of coaching on that team, I think. But I'm still gonna give them several games to prove me wrong. But that was classic Aaron Rodgers. Like knows what you're gonna do before you know what you're gonna do. All right, and you ask. I remember listening to John Jones on a podcast earlier this week talk about how that's what happened. Like, and he flat out, like Rodgers flat out told John Jones, "I knew you were gonna do that." Like you ever
Yeah.
wonder what they're talking about? That's what they're talking about when you can't hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see, you know, a top 5 all-time quarterback, which is what he is to me, play a good game. Now I hate the Jets
Mhm.
because I'm a Patriots fan, but I don't hate football, and I'm not going to call good playing at times bad if it's not bad. So I just wanted to air that out there. But I'm done. I'm done with that game.
Yeah, that's true, but Aaron Rodgers, I've never had a, I've never liked him that much. I've been kind of on that not hate, but I don't know. I've never liked his attitude or how he plays the game. Um,
He's
that's
kind of
just one thing I don't like about Rodgers.
he's a bit smug sometimes, right?
Yeah,
He carries himself like he's better than everybody, and yeah, not his
which
best
he
quality.
kind of is, but like Tom never did that. Tom was a leader. He wasn't a he wasn't like entitled, I guess. That's what I see a lot in Rodgers. But um, if we kind of look at more of the offensive side of the ball, like passing and stuff, um, coming into week 2, I was talking about how Brissett is trying hard not to make a mistake, and kind of keep seeing it with him throwing 0 interceptions. I think him he's one of the four quarterbacks in the league that hasn't thrown an interception, but he's also almost last in passing yards in the league. So if we kind of put the 2 and 2 together, it could make sense. But I don't know. I want to see more in our offensive line. That means less penalties, more blocking. Um, and I just want to see more in our receivers. I mean, it's it was a tough game to watch. Let's just put it that way. And I just want to get out of this game and move on to the Patriots week 4 matchup versus the 49ers on Sunday. So we have City So, who might play actually. He came out today and said he's not out, but he's not in, I guess you could say. So we still have a chance in seeing him play this week. And if we don't see him play this week, we'll have not really sure. Because Michael Jordan's out, that's for sure.
Yep.
Obviously, we have Cole Strange out. And I don't know. Last week we saw Zach Thomas play a couple snaps. I'm not really sure how many snaps. And that was the first time I ever heard his name. The first time I ever heard 2 New England Patriots' names was Thursday night, and that was Zach Thomas and Demontre Jacobs, who is a left tackle. So he will be our starting left tackle this week with Vidarian Lowe being out. Actually, we might have Caden Wallace come in if he's not out. And if he is, then it will be Jacobs, which I don't want I want Caden Wallace to come in. But if we can get Jacobs some reps, I mean, we should face it. We're not going to have a good left tackle at the end of the day. But if we want to get Jacobs some reps, I mean, I haven't really heard anything of him before this. But like I said, if we want to get him some snaps, that's fine with me. Maybe we can get a hidden talent from him, which I'm not expecting that, but if we do, we do. I don't know how many snaps he played. I'm not really sure, but I know he played that night, and I know that Zach Thomas also played that night. So we have locked at right tackle Mike Onwenu, locked at right guard Layden Robinson, locked at center David Andrews, unless something happens within the next 2 days, but that I don't see that happening. And then we have City So, who might play, like I talked about, and it'll be Nick. I think it'll be Nick Leverett or Zach Thomas. I think Zach Thomas normally plays the right side, either right guard or right tackle. But if it does come to the point where we have to put Zach Thomas at left guard, I'd rather put Nick Leverett. I think he's a great blocker, just a rough snapper, and those snaps in preseason kind of took away from his blocking abilities. But I'm gonna plan on left guard being Zach Thomas, and then left tackle being Caden Wallace. I think he might be able to play. And then hopefully we get Demario Douglas involved in the game a little bit. And yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, looking at the injury report, It's the people that you just talked about. I mean, we've got Anthony Jennings, right? He's out, or he's
Yeah.
questionable, right?
Is it? Yeah.
Um, City So had pads on in practice earlier this week, so we don't really know what that means. We'll find out.
I think that's. Sorry to interrupt. I think that's. I think he might play this week.
Yeah,
And if we want to look at the Niners front seven real quick, we can do that after you do this. But
yeah.
that's gonna be tough to go by. We'll do that. We'll talk about that after.
Um, John Jones was on there questionable, but he'll probably be in there. If he's not, it's gonna be rough. Like, um, John Jones, especially on the inside. Who's the slot receiver for um, the 49ers?
So Debo is. I think Debo's gonna be healthy this week. If yeah, I think Debo's healthy this week. I'll scroll around on this injury report and check. But oh no, this is a Seahawks week. Let me go to week 4 real quick. I if Debo's healthy, is it him?
Um, yeah, I just
Debo
don't.
is questionable. It's
Okay,
either Debo or Jawan Jennings this
yeah,
week.
I don't know their receiver depth of the 49ers, but questionable often means they're gonna play, right?
Yeah.
Like you see a lot of questionable that play.
Mhm.
And it's just it's a concern. John Jones, he's good when it comes to the slot receivers. So but to move on from the injuries a little bit, uh, I just wonder. I just wonder what's the matchup really like? Do we even know what this team is? Do we even know what the Patriots are? We saw them go against. Uh, we saw them beat the Bengals, and we thought the Bengals were a good team. We don't. That's still questionable. Um, we saw them be competitive against the Seahawks. We see them go against what we know to be a talented roster. Um, with the Jets, and get spanked. So, like, what's going to happen with the 49ers, who I think we all know is a very good team? Now, it's going to be interesting on that end. I'll be hopeful if the Patriots are competitive for 4 quarters.
I'll be hopeful if we score a touchdown.
You know,
Yeah.
you're like I'm just. It would really amaze me. I'd be totally blown away if they won the game. Uh,
All right. All right. Calm down
I know.
here.
I know. But I'd still be hopeful if they're competitive. If some of these players that we're watching, um, and it might even be a good time to talk about some of those players that we're watching in this game, since we're pretty much done with the injuries, right?
um.
Is there any
Yeah.
more?
I mean, we discussed the offensive line injuries. Um.
There wasn't
I
anything
don't.
else major, really.
No, I think Gonzo will be fine. Alex Austin, corner. We might be missing him, or yeah, we are missing him. But if Gonzo's healthy, we can get Gonzo out there. I don't think that should be a major problem. With Gonzalez and then like Jonathan Jones,
If
even
Marcel,
Marco Wilson. I mean, maybe Dial. Maybe he can get some reps up there. But
and
um,
that's one thing. Hold on a second, Bill. Like one thing I remind myself going into these situations, sometimes the game isn't to watch it because you think your team's going to win. Sometimes it's because the team is hurt and you're gonna give the depth is gonna have some reps, like game reps, and so it would be it would be still an interesting game to watch if we saw some of these rookies that aren't getting a lot of reps in games to get that opportunity. You never want anybody to be hurt. We don't want that.
yeah,
But when they are, like there is an opportunity to see something happen and maybe bring a player to another level. So,
yeah. Um,
you know,
They have Chris McCaffrey out, obviously, so that might be nice.
But they have
But
another running back, don't they? Have
Jordan Mason's good. Jordan
Jordan.
Mason, yeah,
He's a
from Georgia Tech. He's good. He started his first game the other night. He's a rookie last year, I think, but
okay.
he's a great backup, and it's not like It's not like we're getting like some random. Um, he's he has talent, so it's not like it's just CMC out. It's a good running back out, but a good running back substituting him. So we don't have the run game beat already just because he's out. But yeah, Jawan Jennings, the receiver for the Niners, we should be careful with him. I think Gonzo should cover him. He can fool some corners with his routes. And Brandon Ayuk, he's just more of a deep guy that maybe not the best routes, but the good hands. So I think Jonathan Jones will be able to cover him a little better than Gonzo might, and Gonzo will probably be able to cover Jennings a little better. And that's if Deebo Samuel doesn't play. If Samuel does play, that's a whole different story. Samuel was out last week. He didn't practice on Wednesday. He was limited on Thursday and Friday. So I'm really not sure if he will play. Again, like you said, questionable. Probably means they will play, but Trent Williams, he might not play. Kittle was announced that he will play today. Purdy will obviously play, and those guys from down will play, except like Curtis Robinson right here. But this team, they're injured right now, but it's not going to stop there. It's not going to stop Nick Bosa from getting to Jacoby Brissett once or twice, or not once or twice, like many times. We have Fred Warner to compete, one of the best linebackers in football right now. They just have a good defense overall, and that's going to be a tough team to beat. Not just beat, but just score on, like I said. So hopefully Trent Williams doesn't play in the nicest way possible, because that'll be tough. It'll be a good matchup to see Keon White. Well, yeah, it would be Keon White against the left tackle, I believe. No, he'd be against Colton McKivitz on the edge. But anyway, I don't see much from him this game. I might. I don't know. But
much from Keon White.
Yeah, I don't know how much I expect him to do well.
Yeah, I think he's. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah,
we'll have to see. Lots of things can happen, right?
Yeah.
Remember, it's the NFL. The difference between the best team and the worst team is very little. It's not like other sports where there's a big difference between the best team and the worst team.
Yeah.
It's such a small margin.
Mm-hmm.
And something that David Andrews brings up a lot is something that Dante Scarnecchia used to say was the other team gets a vote.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Patriots get to decide what they're going to do against the 49ers just as much as the 49ers get to decide what they're going to do against the Patriots. So, depending on how that all plays out, it can be you can get a string of plays. A team can come together, and in a way that's maybe you didn't expect. Okay, and maybe they do come together on this game in ways that set them up for the future. That's why I'm saying, like, if it's like a 19-21, even 19-24 kind of score, I know you're like rolling your eyes. I know.
No.
You're probably thinking it's not. No, it's gonna be like 9-40, right?
Two Niners.
Yeah.
No, we're in this. We got this.
But like, what if it's if it's within 5 points? That still shows, and there's there's good football playing at moments, and there's not a lot of penalties and all that, not a lot of mistakes that we know of, maybe that
Yeah.
sets the team up to win the next couple of games. There's a value in this that I'm looking for, even if they lose. Now, if they play like crap and all kinds of mistakes and lose, then whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But
I
do want to see it for that opportunity for them to come together on the road. They're not happy with the way they performed the last game. These are like you said, the Niners are a little bit beat up, not big time, but a little bit beat up. Maybe something happens that's worth paying attention to.
may be or
So I still think it's going to be Dolphins, and I love the Dolphins 2023. Watching Tua throw to like the Dolphins, the Miami track and field team that they had there.
yeah.
It was awesome. It was great. It was fun as a football fan to watch that. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking forward to the Patriots being competitive. In was it week 5
Yeah,
against
week 5. I think he's gonna start like
against the
Miami.
with
Yeah.
who's playing quarterback? Is it begin with a B? Can't remember.
It's either Skylar Thompson or I forget. I remember they were gonna release it like today or yesterday or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So not to get off track at all,
Ripien maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
but I still feel like that's a situation that if May comes in and our defense can manage, to get like no penalties and maybe one turnover, and May can throw a few touchdown passes and we get a couple of we get the run game going, could win, like that
Yeah.
could be a win. And if a team climbs into something like that, in good shape, that could set up the next few games.
Yeah. And when you said the Patriots aren't coming off a nice game, neither are the Niners. I mean, they're 1-2 right now, the same record as us. So they might have a harder schedule, but they have a better team. So it kind of evens out a little bit. So we could use this as a momentum, I think, to try to gain a little. I mean, it's not like we have momentum, but neither teams do. It's not like the Niners do either. So I'm
A good
like,
point.
that could be a factor in this game that we really won't see, but we won't. I don't know if we'll find out, but we could see the results of that. And if the Patriots do win, then that brings us a ton of momentum. Come back home at week 5. We could see May start. We might not. I'm fine with either. And the reason I say I'm fine with either is I'm a Drake May fan and a Patriots fan, but I like Drake May, and that's the reason why I don't want him to start, is because our O-line is so dangerous. Like, it should be illegal to have a quarterback behind us because just how easy it is to get to our quarterback. And I think Ramondre can do a better job with running the ball. I think he has gaps open, and I think we should kind of factor in David Andrews being a veteran and being a good blocker a little bit more, with more runs up the middle rather than like a halfback pitch or something, or like a run to the right, So
Yeah.
I get you can factor in Mike Onwenu there, but he's not having that good of a season. So I mean, I guess none of our offensive line is having a great season. David Andrews isn't playing bad, except that one little penalty that he got. That does not matter at all. I want to see a little more Antonio Gibson this game, especially with seeing Ramondre's performance last game wasn't too good. So if we see a little more Gibson, see what see a little more what he has to offer because he's more yards per carry, more yards than Stevenson, and I get Stevenson has more rushes, but Gibson, he fits with our offensive line pretty well, in my opinion, because he wasn't coming off a great offensive line from last season. Neither is Ramondre, but Ramondre at one point did have a not bad offensive line. So, yeah, I want to see more of Gibson. I like seeing a lot of Hunter Henry. He's fun to watch. He had a good amount of yards last game, along with targets too. I like to see him in the slot too. But that's about it for Pat for insights, I guess. Yeah.
So, who are you watching, right, in terms of like rookies, veterans? Okay, who in this game and just in the season in general?
All right. A rookie offensive player that I'm gonna watch this game is probably gonna be Caden Wallace. I'm not huge into the offensive line, but if he does play, it's probably gonna be Caden Wallace to see how he does, because this is a big game for him. Facing one of the best edge rushers in the league, Nick Bosa. I don't expect him to do great, so that's why I'm gonna watch him, but I'm not gonna be mad if he does bad. I'm probably gonna be a little mad if he does like over 3 penalties, but yeah, I'm gonna watch Caden Wallace and then a rookie defenseman. I don't know. I mean, we might see a snap or a couple snaps from Dial. I don't expect that though. Maybe if we can count Keon White as a rookie, maybe him. But I'll be watching him every game of the season. So, I mean, Raquan McMillan, maybe we can watch a little bit of him because he's not a rookie. I know that, but like he's someone that we don't watch a lot. So, with Bentley being out last week, which I definitely think we missed him, 13 missed tackles, which led up to I think 113 yards of missed tackles that we missed. So that was 13 missed tackles for 113 yards. And Bentley rarely missed tackles. It was more Kyle Duggar that missed a good amount. But yeah, I'm gonna be watching McMillan trying to take the spot of Bentley. And then Tavai, we'll see him a little bit, but that's about it. I don't expect a lot from our guys this game. But yeah, what do you think? Who are you gonna watching?
Oh, I'm watching Layden Robinson, and
All right.
I'm gonna pair that with let's see, he's playing guard this game, right?
Yeah, he'll be playing right guard, I think. So he'll probably be facing. He won't be facing Nick Bosa. Probably. I mean, Javon Hargrave is out. Luckily for us, he would be facing him if it wasn't for him being out. So Jordan Elliott.
So I'm really trying to watch for how well the run game gets established for this matchup. But I also really want to focus on whether or not players like Layden Robinson can coordinate with Andrews well. I just have a feeling like maybe he can. All
Yeah.
right. And work on those A gaps and B gaps. If I remember this correctly, Ramondre tends to go pretty well, like center right. Like
Yeah.
A gap, B gap, probably more, and then I feel like Gibson's better on the left side.
Yeah, I also like Gibson on the outside. Just going on the outside. I get our offensive line isn't great around there, but like he breaks tackles.
Yeah, and he's got some spin moves.
Yeah.
That are amazing. Like
Yeah.
he can. I mean, he breaks through tackles with a spin move and then just keeps on running. And then when he
Yeah.
falls, it's another couple yards. Like
Hmm.
he's good. I think they complement each other, and we've talked about that in the past. So yeah, I'm watching Layden Robinson mostly because I remember him from training camp,
Hmm.
and he just had a presence about him that I just liked, and I was like, he's probably a kind of guy you want to be around, but I don't know. We don't know these guys.
Yeah.
And if that's true, like that's from all the stuff that David Andrews ever talks about, like that's important for an offensive line that they're a unit, um, that have chemistry that can work together. And I just wonder if that comes together in some way to support the run game. So that's kind of my focus for this, and also I'm gonna watch my veteran. So that's my rookie. My veteran's actually a coach. Is AVP gonna just stick to a plan
Yeah.
and
Oh
establish
my God.
the game on the ground, be patient with it, find a way to win with what he has, whether it's throwing a pass here and there, whether they're short passes in the flat or screens, or getting Douglas on a jet sweep, not someone slow. Let's not put
Yeah.
someone's jet
Like
sweep.
Jalen Polk.
Exactly. Like, and then use the passing game to support the run game. Like, can he get the run game going? Can he use the passing game to support the run game? When he gets both of them going, can the run game support the passing game? And is he going to follow that plan that they had laid out over the summer? And seem to just completely deviate from against the Jets. So they got to just get back on track and say, this is what we are. We're a tough team. We go right down the middle when we need to. We go on the edge when you're weak. We throw the ball when you don't know what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
Yeah.
that's what they could be. Are they gonna be that? So my rookie is Robinson, and my veteran is AVP.
I really like that pick with the veteran. And um we AVP and Drake May both said it themselves. They are putting a similar play calls and playbook as what Drake May used in UNC. So if they're coordinating, um, if they're working with Drake May with that playbook, they're also working with Jacoby Brissett on a new playbook too, and AVP. So they're all getting developed new playbooks. I mean, the whole offense is with all our rookies and just AVP coming in, Gerard Mayo. So like we have new play calls, so I get we have to learn those. That's why we have training camp. That's why we have preseason. But still in week 4, so I'm not going to criticize something that we haven't had time to really work too much on yet. I mean, we have, but not enough. So people can say, which I did say until I actually looked a little deeper at it. We're like the Texans. We weren't a good team, and then we have a rookie quarterback, and the rookie quarterback changed us. But they they didn't have all these coaching changes that year, and that's why I'm glad that you brought that Alex Van Pelt up for that veteran, and kind of makes me think. You said that we should still go week 5 with Drake May, and I think I'm going to agree because I don't want him around this Niners defense with our offensive line, and I'm kind of more comfortable with facing the Dolphins D line than I am Niners. I mean, the Dolphins have some good guys. They have Chop Robinson, who they got from I think Penn State. He's quick around the edge. But I mean, this is the NFL. This is football. You get hit, and like, it's not like Drake May got hit a couple times with the Jets, and one was a really hard hit. But again, it's football, so I'm not gonna come in and expect him to get hit 0 times. Like that's just not gonna happen. I don't agree with Gerard Mayo putting in May at that point in the game. Um, like like you said, I don't want to put him in a bad situation, and he's throwing him in, and we're down. Like I think it's 24-3 at that point, and it was like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, And that might not be getting put in a bad situation because obviously he doesn't expect to win that game, but you're still putting him in a situation that no quarterback wants to be in. And if you put him in at that point, that kind of tells you, oh, you're just an extra. You're just a backup quarterback, and we don't want Brissett to get hurt right now. And he was getting hurt, but he was getting hit hard, Brissett was. So that's why I'm like, you're going to put your rookie quarterback in that you're sitting because you're afraid of him getting hurt, and you're going to put him in now where Brissett's getting pressured almost every other play. Like, that it just doesn't make sense to me. And I bet Van Pelt had a play in that decision, and I'm sure Mayo did too, and he admitted that he did. He said, I just felt it was the right time, and that's fine. But, like, you got to – he said I make mistakes, but you got to, think a little bit.
So I'm gonna take a different angle on that, and then I have a question to pose for you about Drake May. So I wondered at that point in the game, why not? Like when they put Drake May in, I was like, well, this is like a joint practice at this point.
Yeah.
Obviously it's a live game, and so and the hits are for real, so it's a little bit more than that.
He's just not in the red jersey.
Yeah. So, but like May, he got hit. He had one big hit, right?
Oh yeah, it was a big one.
It was still like a big boy football hit, though. It wasn't like, oh, he landed bad. It wasn't
that must have hurt. Yeah,
it was like, okay, it's a okay, that's hurt. That hurts. But
but it's not like a if you won't. Yeah,
he got up.
Yeah.
He shook it off, and he went on. So I just wonder if it was like, well, now's a pretty they're not going to win the game, so why not put in Drake May to get some experience, because he's going to get hit at some point. We can blame the O-line all we want, and we do know that that's a big factor, but the other part is Drake May. I don't know what he did on that one. He only had one drive, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what his average release time was. Like what? How long did he hold on to the ball? I bet.
He threw a couple passes to.
Right, but before, I mean, it's a small sample, so it's not fair to compare to Brissett. But we both know that he was in a better position to evade the pressure. And at that point, not even sometimes extending a play, but like just trying to save his own, better than Brissett, who was tired and had been hit a lot, So for the team, May had to be the backup. He couldn't be the future starting quarterback. He had to play his role on the team to be the backup. And we've seen that even, with Brady. When they knew they were losing the game, they brought in the backup. Like, that's happened. Okay?
Yeah,
Not a lot, because Brady could win games. He could come back like no other. No one's better than Brady at coming from almost nothing and doing the impossible photo finish kind of wins, right? But
yeah,
so that's my kind of like take on that. I do think it from a coaching standpoint, it wasn't the worst decision they made all night.
No.
And for people to say, oh, you put him in and well, now you're taking him out. Well, we put him in as the backup quarterback. He's not the starting quarterback.
Yeah, and Mayo did confirm that right after the game, because I'm sure he knew Mayo was going to go crazy about it. Like, oh my God, what's going to happen next week? Which I was kind of the same way for a minute, and I was like, time out. Let me rethink this.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real now. He's not going to start next week versus the Niners, and it's going to be the same exact thing as week 2 and as week 3, except maybe a little different score. But
and to add on to what Mayo was saying, though, with what you just brought up, Mayo's like, I looked at the tape, and Jacoby didn't play a terrible game, implying it wasn't all him. So as far as like, Jacoby didn't lose his job as the starter, was maybe
May just got his opportunity.
Yeah, as a backup quarterback to come in, get some reps, because there's no way that you're going to win the game. Why not? It's the best way to learn and get a little bit of tape to work with. Um, if he can see the kind of situations from that vantage point and deal with it in real time, that's better for his growth in the quarterback room. When the meetings come the next week. So there's a holistic, situation that these coaches have to deal with, and I think is worth pointing out. As fans, we want to see them start. Let me ask you something. Are you willing to live with winning a game or losing a game, but scoring 28 points and a few touchdown passes and maybe a couple of interceptions? Like, how do you feel about that? Putting May in
with May in, all right.
Yeah. Versus
versus who?
Versus play it safe with Brissett, because I feel like that's what we're doing.
Who are we facing? Like this week or?
Oh, no. Just when he goes in, are we going to be okay with? He threw 3 touchdown passes, but he also threw 2 interceptions. Are we going to be okay with that? Is that a win for Drake May, or are we going to go, oh, see, this is why you should have let him wait, and how's that going to go?
Every quarterback's going to make a mistake, and I mean every player is going to make a mistake, but I mean I'd be okay with it scoring 28 points, like around that number. Depends on how those points were scored. I'm probably gonna say, like if they were all like run game, defensive touchdown, like, then that's one thing. But if he put up a good amount of yards and he played okay, then I'm fine. I'm fine with that. And there's not many easy defenses to face with the pass, with blitzing and with pass coverage.
Yeah.
So especially in our division. So I'm probably gonna be okay with that. But what you were talking about earlier with the Jets and his like time and stuff, I found out the number. It was 2.4. He had 2.4 seconds to throw the ball, average.
Okay, and
I wouldn't say it's too long.
Well, no. Jacoby is the one who's too long.
No, yeah, but
what was Jacoby in that game? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
Probably like 3.8 or closer to 4.
Yeah, I could imagine it's somewhere around there. And I mean, he got sacked 2 out of the 8 plays and got pressured 25% of the time, which I don't like Robert Saleh. What is it?
Saleh.
Did I pronounce it? Saleh. I don't like Robert Saleh. Never have, but he was a good coach that game. With all of his blitzing, like he was a good coach in my opinion. And I won't say that much about him, but I'm gonna have to give credit where it's due. And yeah, and I'm actually gonna get that number for you right now. That number was 3.11.
Okay.
So
it's a small
he got
sample.
sacked 5 times.
It's a small sample, but I still think that May is going to get the ball out quicker.
Yeah.
In shorter time. And even if it's like a half a second, that's a lot. A half a second wins the game sometimes. It all stacks up to a lot.
Yeah.
And it also, in terms of decision making, these guys are making decisions in much less than a half a second. So to then have to change their decision and what they're doing is a big deal. So I do feel like that's going to change the offensive line situation. But we've talked about that quite a bit. As far as the schedule, you were talking about what defense. How's the Jaguars defense?
When they're healthy, they're not bad. Foyesade Olokun, he's scary. Their linebacker, he's good. They have Josh Allen. I mean, they just have a couple like guys that are good, but like when you look at their other guys that aren't good, it's rough. They have a low cone, Josh Allen. They have their pass rush is good. I'll give them that. I think it's Cam Robinson, their defensive tackle, and Trayvon Walker, who they got a couple years ago in the draft. But they don't have a bad defense. So yeah, when are we facing them? Week 8, maybe 7, 9.
Oh no, I think it's sooner than that.
Is it?
Uh,
Well, no. Week 5 is
you're right.
Dolphins. Week 6 is Texans. Week 7 is
Jaguars.
Jags. All right, yeah.
I'm going to the Week 8 game against
You are?
the Jets. Yeah.
All right, I might find tickets to it then.
So, hey, if we're in the parking lot together, we might as well go live, huh?
Yeah, 55B. You get a
Right.
free. You get a $50 gift card to park there.
So
You're pay, but
we'll go live and find some angry fan somewhere, right?
oh, I tried it at week 3. Yeah, week 2 when I was at the game. I tried it after the game. It was just like I was so stressed from what I just watched, because it was just like, oh my god, like I wasn't trying to blame the officials there, but I saw, like, I swear, I was up high, and I saw their left tackle in overtime jump on that third down. I think it was. I saw him jump before the snap was snapped, and no call, which I think it got like in my section a little loud, like a couple of boos, but that was never like stated in any like articles or any media. So I was actually going to get the all 22 on that, but I don't know, haven't been very active lately.
Yeah.
With Patriots. Yeah, it's back to the Niners and Pats. It'll be an interesting one to see. I think I'm gonna be looking at more development, and more insights than I am the game, winning the actual game, because I don't expect that to happen. If it does, that's fantastic. If it doesn't, then that's also okay. So it's okay if we go 1-3, and I still think my 7-9 record is 7-10 record is possible if we go 1-3, because we can beat the Dolphins. That's doable. The Texans will be tough, but they're not having a great year so far. Are they? I really haven't watched them too much. So, but the Texans, I don't know if we'll beat them, but yeah, we'll see.
So, what's your prediction? I'm terrible with score predictions, but
I am not very good either. Well, I know the Niners are scoring over 21 points. I feel like they've done it every single game this year. Actually, no, they haven't. Week 1, they beat New York 32. Oh, yeah, they have. Sorry. So they've had over 21 points every single game this season. So that's going to keep going because Los Angeles has a better defense than us. So, and they scored 24 against Los Angeles. So I'm going to go 25 to 25-17. San Fran. Actually, never mind. It's so hard. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it. 29 to 25 New England.
Ooh.
And I don't know why I have this feeling, but I just have a feeling that we have a chance in this game. With their injuries, our injuries, I think we have a better chance healthiness wise. And that's you can say that's unrealistic, and I wouldn't get offended because it makes sense why you would say that. But if you kind of step back and look, Minnesota, they're 3-0, but we can beat Minnesota, I think. It'd be a tough game, but we can beat them. And the Niners lost to them. And, yeah, I don't know. I think Debo being hurt, IU not playing very well lately, we can win this game. And, yeah.
In Kyle Shanahan's system, it's all about timing, right? The West Coast offense is all about timing. And like Bill Belichick always said, if you can jam them at the line of scrimmage, it throws their timing off, you can beat them. All right, so that's one of the things that I'm going to be looking for from the Patriots defense. If ABP can lay out a game plan and get the offense doing what the Patriots set out to do, and the defense can jam him at the line of scrimmage and throw them off, you might be right. I want to believe that they can do those things. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go 24-27 Patriots.
I love it. All right. Well, we have some Patriots fans in here.
So,
that would be us. I like those scores. And I'm confident about them.
you know, it's either
I'm excited to see Polk.
It's either going to be that, or it's going to be like
a blowout, 24-3 again.
Yeah, or even like 35-12. Like it's gonna.
I don't think anyone's reaching the 30s. I think both defenses are too good for that, and our offense isn't good enough for that.
Yeah. So
Polk is. I think I'm excited to see Polk. Like, I get that he hasn't been getting too much action, but every game it's kind of went up a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see if he does get anything. Their corners aren't great. What were you gonna say?
What do you think about which week do you think KB is gonna come back?
Ooh, I think he'll be back. When are we? We're going to Germany, right? I think. When are we?
No, I thought it was
Germany. Is it? Wait.
I think it's London.
Oh yeah, you might be right. Where's the Colts? No, we're facing home against the Colts. Oh, it's Jaguars. Yeah, that's right. Because Jaguars' home is London. Yeah. So I think it'll be that game.
Wouldn't it be great if it was against Mac Jones? If it was, how about we do Drake May versus Mac Jones?
Oh. Yeah. So. Yeah. That's.
I think we're winning that game. I think
we can have Bill Belichick announce it. Oh my God, I would pay to see that. But
Kraft would take your money.
Oh, we know. I've been at Gillette a few times to know that.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it. 4:05, so we'll have the late afternoon game, and yeah, not much more I have to say about this game. Not much more. Anything more you have to say?
No, that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
I always hope they win, but I'm gonna have a list of things that I'm looking at, just for the sake of the long-term view of the team.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for in this game, and I'm not going for a win, if that's possible, which it is. If we want it, we can maybe get it. But thanks for joining with us today, and this one was fun. I'll talk to you about. I'll keep in touch about week 5 recap. No, week 4 recap, and then yeah.
Go Patriots.
Go Patriots. See ya.
See ya.